Namaskar. Sickle cell disease. We very much know that the genes in our chromosomes, one which comes from the mother, one which comes from the father, decides how different cells and proteins would be there in the body. So the red blood cells, which have to be oval in nature to carry oxygen abundantly, they tend to become in the shape of the moon, lose their cell membrane strength, disintegrate if there is a disease known as sickle cell disease. It's a single gene mutation. Let us indicate it with the color pink, let us say. Let's say the sickle cell trait is there in the father and it was there in somebody else. They had a consanguineous marriage and the trait now came in. Both fathers and mother had the trait and it has come to the child. Father and mother were carriers, but the child is having sickle cell trait in both the parts of the chromosome. So there will be a disease known as sickle cell disease. The blood will disintegrate. It will be needing bone marrow transplant, blood transfusions and multiple number of things. But in places or in the tribal areas of India as well as in Africa where there is a lot of malaria, it is found that approximately 20% of the population would be having the sickle cell trait, means one of the chromosomes would be having the sickle cell gene mutation, the other won't be having, because sickle cell anemia is a autosomal recessive disorder. It doesn't get reflected if there is another genetic material corresponding to it which is non-mutated. So in these places, in the tribal places where the person has sickle cell trait is the characteristic feature, not the disease. The Plasmodium falciparum does not thrive adequately inside the red blood cell because of the change in the cell architecture. This gives an advantage, and people having the sickle cell trait live longer, have lesser severity of malaria. Thus, if a population is having sickle cell traits, we should avoid consanguineous marriages because it becomes a disease and harmful. But in places where there is a lot of malaria, sickle cell trait actually is an advantage and is known as the heterozygous advantage. That's what the sickle cell disease is all about. Thank you.